Oh my God, Twitter is in shambles right now, y'all, because they made a Punisher skin that, wait for it, looks like Punisher. And later in breaking news, water is wet. Who would have thought? YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark, and I'm here on a Wednesday morning. Actually, at this point, it's actually afternoon. I'm a few days out from my vacation. Pretty excited about that, but I think in this video I want to talk about something that is it's really silly to me, but I just feel like it needs to be talked about just because I'm tired of seeing people go back and forth over this in the comments on under the new skin that's releasing. If you guys don't know, I believe it's Thursdays when they release the skins. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but Thursday, which would be tomorrow at this point, they're going to be releasing the Punisher skin from the show Daredevil Reborn. Now, if you guys haven't seen that show or any of the Netflix show, I highly recommend them. I think they're probably some of the best shows that Marvel has ever put out, and technically those were originally Netflix shows. They had some kind of deal with Marvel to where like they could do like the heroes for hire type characters, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, for a period of time, and then once I believe it was when Disney Plus came out, they basically took the rights back to those characters and took them over. So Daredevil Reborn is like the first show that we have that's technically completely under Marvel instead of like Netflix doing it. And you know, the thing is that with this skin that's coming out, there's been a lot of people in the comments and stuff, and they're complaining about the fact that the Daredevil skin basically looks way too similar to, I'm sorry, not the Daredevil skin, I apologize. The Punisher skin looks way too similar to the Punisher skin that's already in the game. Now, this is actually funny because I'm pretty sure in a previous video I had talked about this where you could kind of run into an issue with certain characters. Now, there's some characters in the game that they just have like a plethora of different types of skins, you know, like depending upon who's done the artwork and stuff over the years for different series and stuff like that. There's so many different interpretations of that particular character. But I'm pretty sure if I didn't bring up in a video, it's definitely something that I've talked about with friends and stuff like that before, where I've said that with characters like Punisher, there's really only so many types of skins that you could really make for Punisher. Yeah, have they had like alternate universes and stuff like that, timelines where Punisher has looked slightly different, or he's like a mix between two characters, or whatever the case is. Yeah, but when it comes down to just like Punisher, he's pretty much looked exactly the same no matter what. There's only like one other skin I think that they could really pull out, and that's kind of like his original one, where he just has like the skin tight suit on with like the utility belt and like white boots, white gloves and stuff like that, kind of like his first appearance version and stuff. But outside of that, Punisher has pretty much looked exactly the same no matter who draws him or what iteration it is. And especially when you see him even in like movies and stuff, it's really hard to like differentiate between them. They all kind of look exactly the same. Now, the thing is that I do like, I believe the actor's name is John Bernthal. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. You guys can correct me in the comments, but I'd say he's an amazing actor, but he is kind of one of those actors where he kind of seems like he's playing the same guy in every role. But I think that's why people like him, because he kind of seems like he's just that regular kind of like, you know, no F's given type of tough guy or whatever. But I think that his interpretation of Punisher has probably been one of the best ones. And it's probably because there was a lot more time to like kind of build him up. Whereas with the other ones, we've just kind of had these movies, where you only get like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the most to kind of develop this character. Whereas with his version, we actually had what I think is 2 seasons of Netflix. Plus he was in one of the Daredevil shows before he actually got, they introduced him in one of the seasons of Daredevil. I believe it was like the 2nd season of Daredevil. They introduced him, and him and Daredevil kind of go back and forth. And they just recently said that he was going to be in the new Spider-Man movie. So there's like tons of memes of Spider-Man basically telling him don't go out and delete people, and he's just kind of like firing away regardless, because that's kind of the thing about Punisher. But back to the point is that like I said the other day, one of the women that I usually have in videos with me as co-host and stuff like that, Giselle. You guys probably seen in the comment section a lot as well. She tends to keep me up on stuff like this when I tend to miss it. If I get busy with something else, she'll send me a message and say, "Hey, look, this is what they're over there tripping about on Twitter now." So I kind of went into some of the comments of the post that we're talking about the skin, and a lot of people are just saying some pretty ridiculous stuff. I mean, we got one guy, and I'll post some of these comments on the screen, but you got one guy. He's basically like, even this skin should be free, but even if it was free, I would still complain about it. And what's funny to me is like I said, one, with a character like Punisher, it's really hard to make versions of him that don't look like Punisher. He is as straightforward as it gets. He's a guy with slick back hair who wears a trench coat sometimes, and then when he doesn't, he's still wearing the same thing, which is kind of like some like cargo, like black cargo pants, black military type boots, and a shirt with a white skull painted on the front, and a vest. Well, the shirt obviously doesn't have it. The vest is what has the skull painted. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? And he's got some big guns. That's Punisher in a nutshell. It's not like there's any need to like branch out and do something different with him or make him like more high tech or less high tech. He is as straightforward as you can get in regards to character design. So making different skins for him, like I was just thinking, I was like, oh, well, what if they try to do like some of his movie skins? Looks exactly the same. What if they do like some of his like, other appearances and pretty much anything else is going to look exactly the same. The only thing that I think that they could realistically do to make Punisher look any different would be if they start making kind of like, you guys know how in games like Fortnite and Call of Duty, they'll release skins that actually look like they're, I forget what it's called, but they actually look like they're comic book skins, like the way that they're designed. It looks like someone like drew them, or like they're flat, or whatever it is that you would call it. They don't like the normal 3D kind of like looking skins and stuff. That would be like the only thing that I think that they could do to really make him stand out, along with, like I said earlier, giving him that like initial comic book appearance that he had, the one where he has like the white boots and white gloves and stuff like that. That would be the only thing I think that they could do to make him look any different. And outside of that, they're just going to have to create more original skins. Now, I'll be honest. Of all the Peach Momoko skins, I think the Punisher one was probably my least favorite. It kind of made him look like from a distance, he looks like a guy that's wearing like a crab outfit or something. I don't really know. And then it's like purple and stuff. I just feel like that was kind of weird for Punisher. But outside of that, though, I actually like most of the Peach Momoko skins. I think they're for the most part pretty good, with a few exceptions here and there. But that's really all they can really do with Punisher. It's just kind of make up different random skins for him. Even like I said, if they were to give him skins from his movies and stuff, you're gonna be really hard pressed to find any differences or be able to spot any differences from a distance. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about too is the fact that it's really wild to me that people complain about skins a lot of times, because at the end of the day, you don't have to buy it. Like, there's skins all the time that come out that I see that I just don't care about, and I don't buy them. It happens all the time. And at no point when I see a skin come out that I don't like, the last thing that I think of is to go, oh, you know what I should do? I should go on the internet and complain about this. That never happens. And I find it really interesting, like this mindset of people nowadays. I can't really say this generation, because I see people all the time that are from my generation. They're older, younger, in between. So it's not a generational thing. It's just kind of like a current day thing where people just really want to complain. And it's to the point to where even in like videos that I make, I'll give a little side point here. Like videos I make now, I'm very thankful to have a point to be at a point where I just get so many people to comment on videos that I just get to scroll through and laugh sometimes and say, well, what is this person so triggered about? To the point to where I'm actually thinking about doing a thing once a week. I need to look up the legalities of that on YouTube and stuff. But I'm actually thinking about having like a triggered award or something like that, or a goofy award or something for like the most silly, just crazy out there, what the hell is wrong with you type of comment that I get, because I get a lot of them. I get a lot of people who are just very angry. I had a guy the other day that was really mad that I explained the lore of the Human Torch skin that's coming out, the Future Foundation skin, or it's already out technically. You would have had time to unlock it. It's in the new pass. But yeah, it took like 2 minutes to explain that that's actually something from the comic books. Bro was triggered by this. Like, he was extremely upset that I took 2 minutes of my video to explain to people why this skin existed, when this has been something that people have been arguing about all week long, or for the last couple of weeks, honestly. Whenever it was first announced, people have been arguing about it. And yeah, you get comments like that all the time, and it just kind of makes me wonder, because it's the same thing. There's a lot of these videos that I cover where people go, why is this even a thing? It's a thing because people are arguing about it. That's why people are going back and forth. I'm trying to read the comments to see if there's anything useful in there that I should know about a post or something, and it's just nothing but a bunch of people sitting back complaining and complaining and complaining. And a lot of times I think it's silly, so I make videos like this to kind of call out that silliness, because I think a lot of people they're just extremely bored. They have nothing going on in their lives, and they just have to kind of sit around and nitpick and argue about anything. It's not just this game. It's every game. Every game that I've played in the last couple of years that's kind of like there's exceptions. There's certain games that have like communities that are a little bit more positive and optimistic and stuff. But for the most part, like any games I've played, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, this game, a handful of other ones, people just complain about everything. And that was something I thought I was getting away from when I stopped making Call of Duty content. Was, there was this crowd. People used to get mad at me because I would buy skins in the game and showcase them for videos and stuff like that. Like that would be shorts I would make a lot of times. I buy a bundle, I would show it off, and it would kind of be like, this is what it does and everything. So that way, before you actually buy it, if it's worth it. This is what the finisher move looks like, the loadout, etc. And you have this group of people that are like, you're part of the reason why the game is trash because you keep buying these skins. It's like, brother, I'm buying them so that you can see and maybe you don't have to if it's even worth it. But at the same time, though, as a content creator, this is a business. So this stuff is a tax write-off for me at the end of the year. What are you so upset about? You got the people that are, oh, it's a dead game. Why are you playing it? And, it's the same thing with this game. Every time I make a video, there is a whole group of people, like half the comments are just filled up with people that are, oh, I don't play this game anymore because of this. Oh, it's trash. Oh, dead game. What about talk about UMM? And the thing is that, once again, I'm thankful for getting comments and stuff in videos, but it seems like for the most part, people just get mad about anything. They're just tight about anything they can find. There's nothing going on. And people just go, let me get on Twitter and just complain. Let me go to Reddit and just complain about something. And like I was saying originally, the point I was originally making is that what's crazy about it is that no one's forcing you to buy this stuff. Once again, I just got to say it. I see skins in the game all the time that I don't care about. I don't think I own a single skin for Jeff. You know why? Because I can count on one hand how many minutes I've ever spent playing Jeff. A lot of people out there that do love Jeff. Do you think I care? Do you think it bothers me? Do you think I get concerned what people are doing in Fortnite or Call of Duty or Apex right now? It is not possible for me to care any less. It's not. There's no cares about it, so it's not possible for me to care any less about it. I'm damn sure not going to go to videos about that game and complain about it. That's wild to me. And I understand there's a lot of people who they start to like a creator. There's a lot of people that come to the comment section and tell me, hey, I don't play this game anymore, but I really enjoy your videos. I enjoy your perspective on things, your outlook or whatever. That's one thing. It's another thing when like you take it like it's a full-time job to just go around to videos of games that you don't play anymore and complain about them. To complain about skins in a game that maybe you do play, but you didn't have any intentions upon playing that character. It's probably not even your main, half the people that are complaining about it, Like I said, when I look at it, do I feel like it's worth spending money on? Is there anything that's different enough about it or that I'm like, oh, man, no. But trust me, there are a group of people out there that just enjoy Netflix version of Punisher, which is now Disney, but it originated from Netflix. But there are a group of people out there who like that show so much, or they like, John Bernthal's interpretation of the character so much that they're just like, yo, I'm getting that immediately. And the thing is that honestly, instead of complaining about something, the best way to speak is with your wallet. If people don't buy something, then they won't make it anymore. They're a business at the end of the day. They're not making this stuff because they personally enjoy it. They don't care. They're trying to get more money from you. That's just that's what a business does. They're not friends. We're not their friends. There's a supply and then there's a demand. We're the demand. They supply for that demand. It's just that simple. At the end of the day, mutual transaction here, right? And like I said, if they make a lot of something, like I know a lot of people get upset because they say, oh, well, this is like the 17th Spider-Man skin that they've made. You know why? Because a lot of people buy Spider-Man skins. Just because you don't like Spider-Man doesn't mean that there's not a lot of people out there that do like Spider-Man. Same thing with Magic. They make a lot of skins for Magic. You know why? Because people like playing Magic. Simple as that. Now, there are some exceptions. You got to think, like, Cloak and Dagger is probably one of the highest picked characters in the game. Everybody always talking about how there's, like, infinite Cloak and Dagger lords or whatever, right? Even, like, Sue Storm and stuff. And I feel like we really just don't get a lot of skins for them. But I also feel like, overall, that's because there's a lot of people that don't like playing support. So we don't really get a lot of support skins because people don't really enjoy playing support. Like, it's really a problem. And getting people to play support characters. So that kind of makes more sense to me. But people love playing DPS, so why do you think they're constantly releasing DPS skins and stuff? Not saying they're not releasing other skins, but there's a method to the madness, though, at the end of the day. But, like I said, I find it really fascinating that people just constantly have something to complain about with this game and just talk about all the time in regards to, oh, why don't they do this? Oh, I don't like that. What about this? Why does Human Torch get a Future Foundation skin? By the way, I've never read a comic book in my life, though. I just heard that he was dead around the time when it was started, and I just assumed that when people die in comic books, they never come back. Newsflash, sir, they do come back. Everyone comes back. There's no one that stays dead. Uncle Ben, I've said it before, Uncle Ben is the only person who's died in a comic book who just never comes back. Once he's dead, he's just dead. His death is quintessential to Spider-Man becoming who he is, and him staying dead is also quintessential to him staying the individual that he is, right? So, like I said, with the exception of that, everybody comes back. You really think Human Torch didn't come back at some point before Future Foundation ended? Of course he did. What do you think they did? They just didn't give him a suit? No, another thing that's funny is that, a lot of times with that, you can just see what issue in comic book this person came from. You can see it. It shows you. When you go to the skin, it says it on the right side of the screen, right in the middle, right there. Google is our friend. Utilize it. I mean, I don't know what else to really say about that, but let me know in the comments, though, what you all think. Do you think that the skin is trash? Do you think that people are making too big of a deal about it? It doesn't matter. It does matter. Do you think the devs are being lazy and they could have put more stuff in there to really differentiate that skin from the base skin? Whatever it is that you think, I love to hear from you guys, as long as you're not tweaking out in the comments. If you are, you might be in my little end of the week special where I talk about what the hell's wrong with this individual and showcase your comment to the world and really just talk about why I think that you're so just tight about a video that didn't personally do anything to you. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you all think. Next video is probably going to be talking about the results of my alt account that I made for PC and comparing that with the console account and my main account and going back and forth between that. Like I said, I'm going on vacation Friday, but I'm going to try to go ahead and put out a couple of different videos ahead of time for you guys. When I put them out ahead of time, I'm going to schedule them to go out while I'm on vacation, so you don't have to worry about that. But hopefully it's not any more of this kind of drama that people are having where they just find anything to tweak out about. That's just me personally. I'd like to be able to talk about something else, but like I said, though, people start tweaking out about stuff like this. Unfortunately, I got to make a video and talk about it because why not, right? That's what people like. That's what they want to hear about and go back and forth in the comments about and all that good stuff. So is what it is. But I do appreciate y'all for watching. I'm going to wrap this video up. We're coming up on the 20-minute mark, and like I said, I do appreciate y'all for watching. But that's all I have, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So this is Father Dark, and I'll catch you on the next one.